In a minute, we're going to go into the recording session that I had with Brandon. If you're into crypto, then you've probably seen his name and his face plastered all over social media for the last week. He's the guy that got $3 million of XRP stolen literally a week ago out of his cold/hot wallet. And you're going to learn a little bit about that as well as some general crypto threats. It should be very educational for most people that are either beginners or they want to get more secure in their crypto. Also, I want to give a shout out to Tangem. A couple hours before the recording started, I called my contact at Tangem and said, I'm talking to Brandon. Could you just give him a gift? I'd love to be able to tell him that Tangem's going to give him a gift. And didn't ask for anything. They just simply said, absolutely. And so we're arranging that with Tangem. They're going to send Brandon a gift. Efani's also going to give a gift to Brandon. So we want to be part of his recovery. And Efani's big supporters of crypto security for crypto to survive and thrive. You have to be able to wake up every day and not have to be concerned that your crypto is missing. Also, I want to say that Efani's got an official Tangem code now. It's just Efani, and you get 10% off. And there's also a special going on right now for the ring where you can get another 15% off. It's 15 off ring. And you can combine that with Efani and get 25% off. And I think that's going to go on for like another 2 months. So if you ever wanted the Tangem ring, then go ahead and do that. Now, this is going to be the first giveaway that we've ever done, that I've ever done. So this week, as of right now, I'm officially announcing this, that we're going to give away a 2-card Tangem wallet to a lucky winner that will be announced on November 1st. And you don't have to buy anything. It's free to use. All you got to do is make a comment. The rules to qualify are going to be towards the end of the video. But you have to be a U.S. citizen. You have to be 18 years or older, just so you're not disappointed when you finally get to those rules. But we're going to do this. I'm going to try and do it once a week. And if people use that Efani code, anything we get from Tangem, we're just going to turn that right back around and we'll give away 2 wallets, 3 wallets if people are using it. But I'm going to try and do it on a weekly basis for the rest of the year. And then we'll also give away a couple of Efani lines, and each line's worth around $1,200 or more per year. And so we'll get into some valuable products. But for the first time, we're going to do the Tangem 2-card wallet. With that said, let's get right into the recording with Brandon, and you're going to learn a lot. Thank you. Welcome to another episode of Efani Features. And I have Brandon on the line with me. So Brandon, welcome to the Efani Features channel.
Thank you so much for sharing my story. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I want to, and let's get right into it. So why don't you do just like a really quick background of yourself before we get to the crypto hack itself, just a little bit about who you are and kind of how you even got into crypto.
Okay. First of all, my name is Brandon Laroque. I've been in crypto since about 2017. Kind of stumbled into it. I didn't know anything about Bitcoin or definitely not about altcoins. I happened to have to go overseas on an emergency trip, and when I was overseas, something had happened with a family member, and I had to run over there. And when I was there, a gentleman who owned a hotel put me up because it was such a big deal what was going on. And when I was sitting there talking to him one day at breakfast, I noticed he was looking at his computer, and he said, "Wow," or something like that. And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you. I don't want to interrupt you." He said, "No, no, 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 no. I'm just looking at my Bitcoin." And I said, "Oh, of course I'd heard of Bitcoin before, and I didn't know anything about it." And I said, "If you don't mind me asking, how much is Bitcoin right now?" And he said, "It's $3,000." And I was like, "What?" I thought it was like $3 because I didn't follow crypto. Well, fast forward, I'd gotten back from overseas, and a couple of days later, I've been in the bar business for about 30 years, and I've owned bars for the past 21. And about 2 days in, a liquor rep came in and was talking to me, and he happened to mention something about Bitcoin. This was when it was going on. It's just at the very beginning of its first run in 2017. And he started talking to me a little bit about Bitcoin. And I said, something is just telling me, if you hear it once, one thing, if you hear it twice, maybe there's something here. So I started looking into it a little bit. And I went out, and being a newbie, first thing I did was I was like, how am I going to buy Bitcoin? And I lived in Raleigh, North Carolina, and there's they had a small Bitcoin ATM machine at our mall there. And that's how I bought my first Bitcoin, which I know but it was just, that's how I first got into crypto. And then of course, from there, as it grew so fast in that 2017 bull run, I started learning more about altcoins, and that's where I went went into XRP at that time. It's At first I just didn't understand. I mean, I'm just like everybody else. When you first get into it, you get into Bitcoin because it's kind of the Coke. It's, you know, when you go to a restaurant, you order a Coke, they may give you a Pepsi. It's the Coke is the way I describe it. And I've heard other people do the same. But then I started learning about different altcoins. And something just resonated with me with XRP. And that's what got me into it. It's the one thing that clicked, that I understood that, and I know many other people understand the other altcoins. I just didn't understand the other ones. So I invested in what I understood.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Unfortunately, I was really stuck on Bitcoin, and so I didn't get in XRP early enough. So that's a great lead in. Appreciate that. And now let's just quickly cover sort of the reason that we're here, because your channel's blowing up. It's not for a great reason, but you got hit for 3 million. Is that correct?
Yes, well, it was 3 million a day that it happened. That's what it was worth. Let me start from what happened. As I said, starting about 2017, 2018, I started accumulating a lot of XRP. I just would, dollar cost average. I'd buy every day or every week. Whenever I had a little extra cash, I would, I started then buying off exchanges, and transferring them. I think in 2020, I learned about cold wallets a little bit, which I thought I learned about them. But I had accumulated 1.3 million XRP. And about a year ago, my wife and I retired. We closed our bar, and that's what I live off of. I sell a little bit each month, depending on what the price is, depends on how much I sell and what I need for bills, because I considered it a store of wealth. On this past Wednesday, like I said, I bought a Ellipal wallet in 2020, a cold wallet. And I did everything that said in the videos, and I downloaded it on my phone, the app, and connected it the appropriate way. Well, I was when I woke up on this past Wednesday, I looked at my balance, and all my XRP had been drained. It was at the time 1,210,000 XRP. At the time, it was worth $3 million. It's gone as high as $4.5 million a few months ago, back in March. But of course, when it first happened, the first thing I thought was, oh, it's a glitch, because I've seen these glitches happen before, and your heart drops in your stomach. Just like I'm sure everyone who's watching has had this feeling at one point. You've sent some Bitcoin, you've sent some XRP, it doesn't get there right away, and your heart drops. So the first thing I did was go to XRP Scan. And that's where it kind of shows the XRP ledger and the transactions. And I saw my wallet, and it was all gone. Somebody had transferred it out on October 12th, which was the Sunday before. They sent out about 10 XRP. It was a test transaction. And then about 2 minutes later, they sent out 1,200,000. The rest, it was 1,210,000. Of course, I woke my wife up. I saw this at 4:30 in the morning. I woke my wife up. My heart, I was in shock. That's the best way to describe it. I was just in shock. I'm still in shock. And I told my wife. She thought I was having a nervous breakdown. She was extremely worried for me. There was nothing to be worried about. I would never, I'm fine. But we talked about it for a few minutes. I Googled, what do you do? Because I don't know what to do, so I contacted my local police. Unfortunately, they didn't. They're great. I love them, but they don't have a cyber crimes unit. I contacted the SBI, State Bureau of Investigation. They don't have a cyber crimes unit. I contacted the FBI. When you call the FBI, no matter what number you call, it just puts you in circles. It just sends you back over and over, and it tells you to file a thing called an IC3 claim. So I filled out the IC3 claim on the FBI's website. And then from there, I didn't know what to do. So I went downstairs, and I've never made a YouTube video in my life, never even considered it. And I said, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to make a video, and I'm going to ask people if they know what to do, and from there, it just kind of went viral, and that's what happened. So the gist
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah. I mean, and that's one of the things just in the minute where we talked before this is the experience with law enforcement. I went through the same thing. So mine was a little bit different in the sense that my mobile account was stolen away. And at the time I had it all on one of these online accounts. And I was in the middle of the desert of Arizona. My mobile account's stolen away, and I'm like, oh my God, I hope that I just simply, forgot to pay the bill or something. And sure enough, when I reached my parents' house, like 55 minutes later, the Wi-Fi connected to my phone and 6 password resets went up my phone, which included a Coinbase account. And so they got into email cloud, but trying to deal with the carrier, like they go into liability protection mode. So they protected the hacker. You go to law enforcement, and I'm sure this is kind of similar to you. It's like they're like, well, who hacked you? And it's like, well, I don't know. It's like I don't even know if they're from this country. That could be from a different state. I don't know. And so they're confused, and they're like, we'll just fill out a form, and it's just mainly for insurance. They don't have, like you say, they don't have a cybercrime. I filled out that form with the FBI. I still to this day, since early 2018, I've never got a response from 'em. And I remember you telling the story. I watched you in another video, and you're talking about this experience, and so it's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video because I know that there's at least one or two people over at the San Francisco cybersecurity crime who know who Efani is. I'm hoping they hear this. Somebody will over there, and that they'll help, try and take up this case. It's $3 million, and the DA in San Francisco has taken up one for 2.5 million in the past, and this wouldn't be in their jurisdiction, but hopefully there's got to be somebody in government that would look at this. But my hack was not nearly anything like yours, but it resonated with me. Your story resonated with me, and I really appreciate you being able to even tell it, live because I was upset. But mine was to the point, and it was so early on, where it's like, okay, it was stolen. I learned my lesson, and so a couple of days later, I just went out and replaced it and bought it.
Yes,
Whereas
yes, sir.
now, you can't replace what was stolen from you.
Right.
Yeah.
I have not heard back from the FBI, but a couple of things I did do. I did actually get an email yesterday from the Secret Service, which I didn't file it with the Secret Service. I could only assume that the FBI forwarded it to them, but the guy was very nice. Um, he, he pretty much said it's gone, I mean, and I know it's gone. I've accepted that. That's the hardest thing to accept. I had a friend who used to work for me in the bar business. When I first opened my bars, he was a door guy, and now he works for the Raleigh Police Department. He's kind of high up. I immediately called him also, and he actually put me in touch with a guy who works in the Raleigh Police Department, who's tasked to Homeland Security right now because apparently there's a huge crypto scam going on in our area, in the Raleigh Durham area, Chapel Hill area, and they said that a lot of this stuff is being sent to Southeast Asia,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
and forth to Singapore right now. And I saw that a guy on Twitter or X picked up my story, and I guess he does tracing, and he traced the same thing to some group through Huiwan or something. I'm not really familiar with Huiwan, but he traced it to like Cambodia or somewhere. But it's gone. I've learned a lot. I've learned about how when they took my crypto, I can still see it on chain right now. I can see my XRP where it is, and they split it out to, like, they sent it to one address, the whole amount. Then they took that address and they split it up into smaller groups of like 40,000 XRP apiece and sent it to like 30 different wallets. And then from those wallets, they sent it off to like another 10 wallets from each of those. And then from those wallets, a little bit smaller to each of them. And I guess it was kind of like a spider web. I think I've read some people call it a pill chain, maybe, or layering, mixing. Those are some words I've kind of learned in the past couple of days from this. I don't know if that helps people, but these are things that people should know about.
Yeah, they just try and make it so that you divide it up to the point where it would take years to even attempt to,
Like a
try and
friend.
get back a small piece. But I was going to guess that it's a 50% chance that it's ended up in Cambodia because it's exploding over there right now. It's big news. I have property in Southeast Asia. I pay attention to the news. I spend time there, and you know, the Trump administration just announced that they confiscated 15 billion in Bitcoin, and that's just Bitcoin. And so the
Wow.
problem that people aren't really thinking about is that the theft of crypto has gone well beyond just your individual hacker somewhere that's just trying to, uh, uh,
It's like government one.
target you. It is, well, it's organized crime now. So instead of organized crime trying to, traffic humans and drugs and all these things, it's just they sort of discovering that, well, it's a lot easier. Just let's go get some hackers. And, in particular, what they do is they've actually been kidnapping people. And they have these sort of prison camps. It looks like a really old school, but they build a wall around it, and they've killed some people recently. That if they don't participate, they get people from different countries. So right now, there's Korea, South Korea had to come in, and they're pissed off, and Indonesians, Thais, and I'm sure they have Americans over there that are participating in this. So they have all the languages. They get mobile numbers from all these different countries to text people. I mean, I'm sure you've gotten them. I get them. You get like I get Coinbase SMS from Philippines and from other countries. That's like you just did this, and this is your code, and they're hitting people that aren't even using Coinbase or not even into crypto. They're just hoping that they hit enough people to react to it. But it's now organized crime. It's billions of dollars, and they're targeting people. And they don't care whether you have $3 million or whether you have 30,000 or 3,000. If they can get you in like 15 minutes, you make $3,000 in 15 minutes. Pretty good, pretty good pay.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. A couple did learn too, and it goes back to what you were saying. Is uh, a friend of mine had a contact with the FBI who's retired, and so he actually I've never met the guy before. He actually picked up the phone and called me because my story resonated so much with him, and he was just giving me some tips of things to different things to try. But he told me that the FBI will not even investigate your crypto if it's under $1 million. They won't even.
Yeah.
But what they are trying to do is, and he mentioned the San Francisco office. He said you might have someone over in the San Francisco office who's working on a case that has sitting on his desk that has $100,000, and then you may have somebody in Raleigh, North Carolina, who has $200,000, and they'll try if they can link these wallets. They try to combine it into one large case. So he said it is good to at least report it because that does help a little. But what's crazy is, every time my bank gets robbed, a bank in my area gets robbed, it's all over the news everywhere. And I can't imagine more than $10,000 or $20,000 in a bank robbery. And this is like $3 million. And it's kind of just like the only people talk about it is the crypto community. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
The amount going on right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things I wanted to get out early is that and this is optional for you, but as Efani, your story resonates with us, and so we want to give you a year's worth of our mobile service. People pay about $1,200 if they pay monthly for our service, and so we want to try and at least help with the mobile part of it. You can use it as a second line, or you can use it as your first line. But we're going to give you AT&T with our security, our SIM swap security. It comes with a $5 million insurance policy for any losses, and then also I called my contact at Tangem, and I said, Tangem, I'm going to have Brandon on the line, the guy that just got $3 million stolen. Would you be willing to just donate your 3-card wallet to Brandon? And a split second, they said absolutely. So
That's
Tangem will send you.
that's so generous of both of you. Thank you. I feel
Nice. Yeah. So and so I like him. I spread out. So because I was a previous hack victim, like I got my lesson learned, fortunately, like early on, and now I have 3 different brands of cold wallets, and I've been stacking basically a number of Tangems, and but Tangem will send you one directly. anyone listening, never buy a cold war wallet and get it shipped to you from anyone else. But um, we've partnered with, we've had some crypto recovery firms that have wanted to partner with us, and we never like kind of closed on that. But I do know a couple, like they're absolutely legitimate, and if they wanted to take up this case, then I'll make it an introduction to somebody that we've vetted, that we know. And because I'm sure you had all kinds of people coming out of the woodwork, and you have no idea who's contacting you, and are they from a legitimate company.
Yes, sir. One of the biggest things is, like you said, when this first happened to me, the first thing I looked up, and all these crypto recovery companies came up, and it's just so many scams. It's unbelievable. My inbox just gets flooded with them, and it's just like they know you're a victim and they know you're desperate, so they'll just jump on it.
Yeah.
And also, thank you. That's so generous of both of you to do. I don't expect anything. I've got a lot of people who've been reaching out to me and asking to donate crypto and donate other things, and I just don't feel comfortable. I feel like I need to take my experience and make lemonade out of the lemons I've been given. And hopefully this will teach some people, and hopefully it'll, my work, my story will get out. So I appreciate
Yeah.
what you guys are.
Yeah. Well, we do. I didn't really think about this before, but we run a quiet YouTube promotion, and so if somebody buys like our service and uses the funny.com/YouTube link to buy our service, then we're gonna send you some XRP
Oh,
as
love to.
well. And I don't think you should feel embarrassed if people want to donate. I seriously think that you should take that up. I mean, I thought about this discussion, and I even thought, like, should we just create a XRP address and just say, hey, let's see if we can just get 1,000 XRPs or something. And so I would do it. And if you do it, I'll do a video to promote that XRP address. I would not be embarrassed to do it. Like, it's crypto community is pretty tight, especially with the XRP army, and I
Thank,
I would do it.
thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Thank you. I mean, that's all I can say is thank you. I
Yeah,
mean, good like you and the people have been commenting and watching. That's honestly, that's what's kept my head up. It's been ebbs and flows, and it's hard. It's hard to think about, and I appreciate everything you got.
yeah. In fact,
Well,
now what I'm going to do too for anyone listening is, and I'll edit this a little, like 20-second clip in towards the beginning to let people know. But Efani will give away one of these to a random person that makes a comment, and anyone who adds value and comments to this video, and I'll put the qualifiers early on, and we'll not only get a Tangem wallet for you, but we'll get a Tangem wallet for somebody else, because somebody else who you've got your crypto, you've got $5,000 today, it's sitting on Coinbase or Kraken or somewhere, and you wanna learn how to use these cold wallets, and let's see if we can secure somebody else as well. Now I'd like to just ask you about sort of the technical uh, sort of lesson learned, and it doesn't have to be specific to this wallet that you used. Um, but is there one or two lessons learned that where you're like, oh, I wish I knew this, or that you'd want to tell other people to avoid this?
yes, sir. Well, first thing is, what I've learned so far is that when I bought my Ellipal cold wallet, I thought so. I did everything it said in the video, put it on my phone. Everything was fine. On my phone, what I've learned from an email from Ellipal the day after this happened was that if you have Ellipal wallets can become cold or hot. And I didn't know this. And the only way you can tell the difference is by the color of the screen. I can actually pull it up on my iPad. I don't know if your camera would be able to see it or not. Do you think I should try that?
Oh,
Would
you
you
can
like to
try it.
see
Yeah,
that? Yeah. Let me show you. I just want to show you. I took a screenshot just to show you. Okay. This is currently, I don't know if you can see this or not.
I see
Can you?
blue. Yeah.
Okay. Let me go up closer. Can you see that has the amount of XRP it has in it?
Yeah.
Which is 4. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a screenshot from my phone that I just took a few minutes ago or earlier today. This is the exact same thing. I don't know if you, oh, shoot, I got the wrong one. There you go. This is the exact same thing. Can you see the 4 XRP on there?
I do. Yeah.
That is a screenshot from my iPad.
Okay.
So
Now it may just sort of discolor it. What color is that? Would you say like
it's orange. So one
it's
is
orange?
orange, and it doesn't say hot wallet or cold wallet anywhere on it. It just has different colors. So apparently what I did was when I first bought my cold wallet, I installed everything onto my phone. But then when I bought a new iPad, I don't remember doing this. This had to have been back in 2021 is when they said my wallet became hot. When I put it into the app with the seed phrases, I thought that's how it imported the wallet to the app because I used an app on both of them. And I thought that was the whole point of it, but I thought it was safe. So I've been walking around with a hot wallet for 4 years or over 4 years, and I was completely unaware of it. So that's something I would have liked to have known before. The other thing I would have probably done is, I probably would have spread it out amongst other wallets, not had it all on one wallet, and been more informed. Those are the biggies that I take out of it.
Yeah. It's that desire to see what it's worth, that day or every couple days to be able to pull it out and be like, see it on the iPad or your phone that can kind of, get people in trouble rather than just sort of putting it back in a safe or something. But I figured when I saw the story, I didn't know anything about this wallet, but I figured it had to be something, similar to that. And of course, the Efani's from the mobile side of it. I've been in mobile for about 12, 13 years now. And so it's like, who knows, somebody can probably see all of their customers that are using this hot wallet, right? And so every time I'm using a cybersecurity solution or any kind of wallet, it's like, what can the people at that company see? And I don't want to, throw any accusations out there, but there could be, sort of rogue insiders that, identify. So I think that one lesson learned: anyone who's using this wallet, if they're using that on a phone in the same way and they're getting that orange color, they probably need to remove that.
Yes, sir.
And
They said in the email also, once it becomes a hot wallet, it is no longer a cold wallet. And I'm a layman. I'm just a
okay.
normal guy. I'm not into technology, and I guarantee there's people out there walking around right now with thousands of dollars hanging out of the back of their pocket. Basically, is the example, and they don't even know it. They do not even know it, and that's what's so scary about it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's tough because you could have it completely secure and you happen to live in LA and your house gets burned down, as part of this massive fire. It's like I always kind of wonder like how much crypto is destroyed, in addition to all the housing and everything. And so the security piece is like the sort of it's still missing in the crypto space that things have to be improved. It kind of surprises me that a hardware wallet company would even allow or create this hot wallet,
I,
even as an option because people are going to make mistakes. And um, I'll be curious to see where the story goes. I mean, do you think there's like what recourse do you have, whether it's legal, whether it's like, do you have any recourse in any direction that you're looking at?
I don't think I have any recourse. I mean, there's people out there that I looked into that, like I said, they're not even recovery teams. One person I found, he traces the crypto and just tracks it. And then what he does is provides that information to the FBI or law enforcement and your lawyers. I mean, I can't afford to hire a lawyer now. I can't, I feel like I've been burnt and I'm like, I got to stop the bleeding. You know what I mean? And there's just like I said, the law hasn't caught up with the technology yet, and I just don't think there is any recourse. I mean, the company, the Ellipal, I believe they're out of the Netherlands. I mean, it would cost a fortune to do anything, and I don't even know if it's their fault. I don't know if it's my fault. I just think they have. One of the big things we have to do, like you said, is security, but we have to make this easier because
Mhm.
there's so many people out there that I know more than, and I just got completely scammed, and hacked. So I can't even imagine what's happening to other people because I don't claim to know a lot, but I consider myself on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe a 3 or 4. But there's a lot of ones out there right now that are getting popped for stuff. And
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I talk to victims all the time. They'll they get their mobile accounts stolen away, passwords reset, and they steal out of their exchange and their Coinbases and those in the online wallets. And so I've talked to people that have lost 30,000, 600,000, 1.2 million. I've talked to Michael Terrapin, who lost uh, just short of 25 million, I believe. And he got hit by a 15-year-old kid. The same 15-year-old kid hit him and a guy named Rob Ross, who consulted for us. I think Rob lost somewhere around like 1.6, 1.8 million. So 15-year-old kid stole about 26 million in Bitcoin. And they were the only thing that was fortunate about it was the kid was a U.S. citizen, and he was partnered with somebody who drank a lot, I guess, and sort of a big mouth. And they I think they bought some things that a 15-year-old kid shouldn't have, and eventually got busted. But of course, they uh, you know got barely anything back. Now Michael's he's doing okay, and so it's painful, but they both sued the carriers, and people don't realize that all the carriers have arbitration clauses in them now. And so even if you did want to sue them, if something happened and it resulted in a crypto loss, you want to sue them, you're gonna the odds are greater than 50% you're gonna win, but you're gonna win 30% of what you lost, and you're gonna pay money out of it. And so it's through mobile accounts, through SIM swaps, through what you went through. There's been a number of cases around the cold wallets where people have gotten it stolen, but it's typically like they volunteered information, or um, it wasn't sort of part of a design like what you experienced. I think that to me is just a poor design that allowed people to do that. But at this point, you got to be even careful about what cable you plug your. If you've got one of these wallets where you're going to plug like USB into it, because there's now cables that have programming built into it that'll send information back to China or wherever. uh, and so yeah, it's the digital cyber theft is now organized crime, and it's in the billions, and it's a big incentive for them. And they call it pig butchering in Asia.
you're exactly right. That's the email I've got back
Yeah.
from people um, that have tracked this. They said that's exactly what it is. It's called pig butchering.
Yep. Yeah. So they were now big enough targets where they invest the time, fatten you up, and do research on you, and then there comes a day when you get slaughtered. And unfortunately, that's what happened. So
When once this happened, I remember hearing this back in April. But Chris Larson from Ripple, who handles a lot of XRP. I mean, that's their big thing. And he got hacked in April for like 100 million. Are you familiar with that story?
I'm not. I remember seeing the story, but I didn't look at the details of it. Um,
Yeah,
and
and
I'll have to
he's
look it up and see like exactly how it happened. I mean, I'm talking to like one of our customers came to us because he got not only his mobile account stolen away, but they used AI to clone his voice, and it passed one of these. If you like, um, before crypto, and I used to do wire transfers to Asia to buy property. You'd have to do this. Say your name and you verify this so they could verify your voice. Well, that's kind of out the door at this point, because anyone who's had their voice recorded, all they need, is 30 seconds to 60 seconds, and they can now clone your voice and bypass these kind of security layers. And but people will go in like if these like mobile family plans. Some will, these are weak links. Somebody will impersonate like your father or your brother and buy a phone and a line off the family plan, and then get mobile accounts switched. Uh, and you probably remember when the SEC announced the Bitcoin ETF early by accident. So sort of accident, but that was a mobile hack. They did a numbers port, and then somebody took over the X.com account and took control of the SEC social media, and then posted the Bitcoin release. And so imagine the billions of dollars that were made and lost in the 3 4 hours of that happening. And then of course they had to reverse it, and so there's, yeah, it's kind of sad.
That's incredible
It's
how fast it's moving, and we got to start trying to keep up.
Yeah, AI at this point, it's if somebody gets a hold of your call records, SMS records, AI to this point is going to be able to go out and research everybody in your contact list, be able to have chat messages with you about somebody else on your contact list, and they're going to know that somebody's a real estate agent and another person likes to play golf, and AI is going to just make these kind of cyber thefts just easy to execute on millions of people in a day. And that's why cybercrime is exploding right now, is because every time the tools and the technology get better for you and I, they get better for the hacker as well. And so now they can go after people in mass scale.
That's incredible. Scary.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's but anyway, it's I could tell in your voice that sort of feeling of the way that I sort of sound sometimes when I'm telling like what happened to me, and it still I mean, I recovered pretty quickly because it was just such a small loss at the time. But now
Well,
I do the math on it. It's now Bitcoin's now, whatever, 115, 114,000, whatever it is today. And so I now have to do the math. And so that was the other thing where it's just like kind of hit me in the chest thinking about you, because, as you watch this stuff rise, it's sort of, it's like another, knife in the back, and it hits hard. So
last couple of days, I haven't even wanted to look at crypto. I kind of just want to get my mind off of it, but at the same time, I want to get the word out. Why all this happened. As quickly as possible. And you're right, it is. It's hard to watch it and think about. It's not. It's not about the crypto. It's like my wife and I had these dreams of what we were going to do with the money, and it's our retirement. We were going to buy a new house, and it all changed. It all changed and like that. But thing is, I'm going to try. It's gone, and there's nothing I can do about it except for spread the word to people and be positive and look ahead. And maybe I'm a firm believer, even before this happened, that things happen for a reason, and we'll see what the reason is, because you know nothing I can do about what's happened. I can only do about what's coming. So
yeah, well, if like I said before, I would seriously create an XRP address, and it's very easy for people to send 5 or 10 XRP, and it just adds up. And of course, uh, it's not as if you would expect that this is going to be replace what you lost, but happiness beyond a certain point is just this incremental thing. So it's just if people can get you back to where at least you can take advantage of what we think's coming with XRP, I would do it. You put an address out there, I'll do a video on it. I'll be the first person to chip in a little bit and get things going. So
thank you. Feel bad anything or anyone, but I do appreciate you doing this. And
yeah, yeah. Well, people can tell that you're a genuine person, and people are happy to help those kind of people, and so you know, people have good hearts, and There's a lot of people out there that will want to help.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you.
Is there anything that maybe we've sort of missed that might be something that um, you just would want to get out there for sort of a lessons learned? Anything else?
Just, if you're out there, please do your research on cold wallets, um, and please diversify it a little bit, spread it out. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. The different things we always hear through life is true. And, you know, crypto it, we can make a lot of money off of it. I think it is going to be the future, of finance. And, but it's not the end of the world. If you lose it, it's not the end of the world. You'll build it back one way or the other, and keep your head up and stay strong. And sorry, I'm getting a little teary eyed to even think about it, but stay strong. Just keep going, no matter what. Just keep
Yep.
going.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I think that's great content. I think people are going to learn from this. I think people will take the extra care. They're going to do their research, and let's hope that thousands of people don't have to go through what you went through. And I'd like to say what we went through, but it's not the same. It's you're at a at a different level, but let's hope that this helps save thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people. So if you could just hang on, we can say goodbye to people now, but I'm going to stop the recording, and then we could just hang out for a couple minutes.
Well, thank you so much for even taking my story. I appreciate it, Mark.
Absolutely. If you want to enter the giveaway, number one, it's open to U.S. residents only, 18 or older. Number two is entry for this week's giveaway starts when this video is published and ends on November 1st, 2025. Number three, to enter this week's giveaway, leave a comment under this video and hopefully add value to the experience. Number four, one winner will be chosen randomly on November 1st and contacted via YouTube comments. Number five, the prize for this week is a free 2-card Tangem wallet. We'll take care of the shipping. And in fact, the prize for the first few giveaways will be Tangem products. Number six, no purchase necessary and void where prohibited. Number seven, this giveaway is not sponsored by or affiliated with YouTube. By entering, you release YouTube from any liability related to this contest. You don't have to subscribe to the channel, but we do recommend that you subscribe if you want to hear about these giveaways. Again, I'm going to try and do about one per week to the end of the year and see how it goes. Never done.